Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about and answering a question that I get a lot, which is, can my partner change? Can this person I'm with shift their behavior to create a healthy relationship? So before I do that, I want to make sure I introduce myself in case you're new here to my page. My name is Lindsay O'Brien and I am a coach and an energy healer. And I help women heal from toxic relationships so they can feel free, happy, and empowered to reclaim their lives. And this week I'm actually giving away 4 free discovery sessions for anyone here watching. And these are sessions where we go really deep into what you're struggling with, whether it's to try to leave a toxic relationship or just healing from the effects of a toxic relationship. And we come up with a plan to help you move forward and take back your life. Okay, so let's get into the topic here. Can my partner change? And the short answer is yes. Anyone can change if they want to. And that is the key, if they want to. So the problem here is when we talk about this in the context of toxic relationships, if you have a partner who has patterns of abusive behavior or they are very high in narcissistic traits, the likelihood of that person changing is very low. So while yes, anyone can change, if we're talking about certain personality styles or certain behavior patterns, some of them are extremely resistant to change. Like for example, I said if someone is high in narcissistic traits or has narcissistic personality disorder, the likelihood of change is extremely low. There would be many barriers that they would have to overcome in order to be able to change or to significantly shift their behavior. And so very often people don't want to do this because if you think about it, how difficult is it for you to change something about your behavior? It's pretty hard, right? You have to really want to do it. So very often people don't want to change because they're getting something from the way they're behaving. Like for example, if someone is behaving in an abusive manner, they get something from that. Whether that's power, control, whatever it is, it's working for them. They don't want to change. So it would require also someone to get very vulnerable. You know, there's a reason why we behave the way we do. It's usually because it's a coping mechanism, it's a defense strategy. So in order to change that, someone would have to be willing to be vulnerable, to seek out support, to do something differently. And that's not easy for anyone. So many of these high conflict personalities are actually not going to want to change. You know, it's like I said, they're getting a benefit from behaving the way they are. So for this reason, I do not recommend staying with someone who is abusive. I never would recommend that to anyone. But I don't recommend waiting for someone to change. It doesn't mean that they can't change, but I don't recommend waiting. You know, if we're talking about an abusive pattern of behavior, this is a very difficult pattern to change. It requires intensive therapy with a very specific program and someone that can hold them accountable for their behavior. And this takes time, a lot of time in some cases. You know, if we're speaking about narcissistic personality disorder or someone high in narcissistic traits, we are talking years of intensive therapy, 5, 10, 20 years to see some change, if any change at all. So there's so many barriers here with these high conflict personalities that I don't recommend waiting around for that, because they may change, they may not. It's possible, but it takes a lot of work, and that person has to really, really want it. Okay? So let's see, what else do I want to tell you guys here? Yeah, so in certain cases, when, especially like I'm talking about the high conflict personalities, someone who's abusive, someone who's high in narcissism, there are extremely high barriers for this person to overcome in order to change. So if you are wanting to stick around, okay. I don't recommend it though, because you will be wasting a lot of your time hoping for this person to change, and they probably will not. The likelihood is very, very low. It's not a risk that I would recommend taking for anyone. So if your partner says that they have changed, or they want to change, they're willing to change, okay. Believe actions though, not words. And remember that change takes time, and it takes professional support. Like I said, if we're talking about a toxic relationship here, and some of these abusive behavior patterns or narcissistic behavior patterns, or both, this is going to take a lot of intensive therapy and a lot of support and a lot of time. So don't believe that someone can change instantly. Doesn't work like that. You know, if you're dealing with someone who doesn't have such a high conflict personality style, and they say they want to change, they are taking the steps, they are going to the therapist, they are talking to coaches, they are getting into whatever kinds of programs they can, and you are seeing consistent behavior changes over time, okay, there might be some hope there. But if you're not seeing that, if you're not seeing someone get into therapy and you're not seeing the consistent behavior changes, then I don't recommend waiting for someone to change. Like I said, the likelihood is very, very low. You have to really want it. You know, any kind of personal transformation work is difficult. Like I said earlier, it involves being vulnerable. You have to be extremely dedicated to it and willing to go through a lot of discomfort. And not everyone is willing to do that. And that's okay. No judgment here. But like I said earlier, I would not recommend waiting for someone to change if what you're looking for is a healthy relationship. To have a healthy relationship, it takes someone who is willing to do the work. And by work, I just mean the discomfort of changing your behaviors so that you can be in a healthy dynamic. All right, guys. So I hope this makes my perspective clear on this topic. Yes, anyone can change, but when you're dealing with high conflict personalities, the likelihood is extremely low. So yeah, for anyone watching, I am giving away some free discovery sessions this week. Send me a message and we will get you guys on the calendar and get you moving forward, whether it's leaving a toxic relationship dynamic with someone who isn't willing to change or really just hasn't put in any effort to do that, or you are working to heal from the after effects of a toxic relationship. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.